All right, guys. Let me explain something when it comes to the difference between conservatives having an issue with athletes speaking out versus the woke media having an issue with athletes speaking out. Okay, when conservatives had a problem with athletes kneeling during the national anthem, it wasn't about their race, it wasn't about their gender. It was purely about the fact that, hey, we think that this is disrespectful. Now, me personally, I understand that that is their free speech to do that, but I do think it is disrespectful, and I would rather not see it. Okay, but me personally, I would not call for them to be banned or to lose their jobs over doing that. Even though there's some people that have. Just me personally, I'm just with the, hey, it's my free speech to disagree with your free speech crowd. Okay, that's how I feel about it. But my point is that we didn't lead with race or gender. Megan Rapinoe got the same smoke that all the other athletes, white or black, got for kneeling for the national anthem. Okay, now the difference is that the woke media, the leftist media, they lead with race. They say, hey, we must uplift black voices, right? Black people matter, right? We need to put black voices out there. Okay, so they're leading with race. They're saying that we want you to speak out because you're black, right? But they didn't say that you had to be black and also agree with the liberal narrative, right? That's not what they said. Okay, they just said, hey, we want you to have a voice because you're black. However, over the last few months or so, last year or so, I'm not sure people have realized that the whole blackness thing, and it's about your race, it's about your color, it's about your gender, all that stuff has went out the window when it comes to not falling in line with the mainstream media narrative. Okay, because Kyrie Irving all last year was supported because he took a stance that the left liked in regards to Black Lives Matter, right? And they said, hey, we must uplift black voices, right? Because we're trying to do right by black people. Okay, now this same person, Kyrie Irving, who's just as black as he was last year, is now saying some things that the woke media doesn't like, right? So what happens when a black person says something that the woke media doesn't like? What they do is that they get the pro-black media mafia, right? People like Stephen A. Smith and others to go after them, right? Same thing happened with Nicki Minaj, Joy Reid, Don Lemon, because those people who are non-black in the woke media, they don't want to be seen as racist. So in line with what has happened with Nicki Minaj, because Kyrie Irving has taken this stance, they have to get the pro-black media mafia to do their dirty work for them and to go after Kyrie Irving. Okay, and what you're gonna hear from Stephen A. Smith and Black News Tonight is that all of a sudden now the so-called pro-black people don't really support uplifting black voices anymore. But before we get in that, I gotta make my disclaimer here, just like I do on every single one of these videos like this. I'm not making claims about the vaccine, the mask, the pandemic, the virus. I'm not making any claims whatsoever. If you have any questions about the vaccine, the pandemic, the virus, the mask, if you have any questions whatsoever, please consult your doctor. Please consult your medical professional. I am simply having a discussion about public policy and public policy only. Roll the clip.
The Brooklyn Nets need to get rid of Kyrie Irving. He got to go.
Yes.
He's just a problem. He's just a problem. I want to put everything in its proper perspective, Keyshawn, Kendrick, Molly. There's a whole bunch of people out here, myself included, maybe not you, Key, but a lot of us that had reservations about taking the vaccine.
Understood.
But we took it.
Yes.
Not just because of us, but because of the people that we were going to be around. And more importantly, the obligations that we had. I don't get vaccinated, I can't do first take. I don't do first take, I'm leaving everybody stranded. Not to mention compromising my own bankroll and bottom line, which I was not going to do. Let me be very, very clear about that. Okay, I ain't apologizing for that to a damn soul, all right? That's how I roll, okay? Having said all of that, even if that were not the case, if I'm a member of a team and we've aligned and we're mission-minded, I'm not going to be the one to jump off the train to compromise the mission, okay? I'm going to be the one that stands pat and is like, yo, this is what we doing, this is what we got to do. Kevin Durant, 6.2 billion plus people have taken the vaccine. Whatever conspiracy Kyrie Irving wants to come up with, all right, good luck with that. But the bottom line is that means you're looking at everybody else who's taking the vaccine, and that's the position that you're maintaining. People out there who don't want to take the vaccine, that's your personal choice. I get where you're coming from with that, but you evidently ain't a part of a team.
I told you what I think of Kyrie and this whole nonsense thing, and I've been done. I probably, maybe a couple of days before you, I said I wasn't. It is a personal choice, and he can choose not to get the vaccine, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. Just stay away from me, and stay away from everybody, and everybody should stay away from you, including the NBA. And I don't know why they don't just get rid of him, except maybe it's something to do with the collective bargaining, the players, and their whole, bipolar approach to this COVID nonsense. But he's not a role model. He's troubled in some way. I don't know what way, but that's just what I'm going to say. He's troubled when it comes to navigating COVID. And I wish that people often complain, and I hate it when they put athletes in a box like they can only do one thing. They're some of the smartest people on the planet. And some of the dumbest people on the planet, just like
including
the rest of us. It's really not, right, it's really not rocket science.
He's very smart.
Okay, to figure this whole thing out. Right, but at the end of the day, this coddling, it gets on my nerves, and it gets on a lot of people's nerves, okay? And it has nothing to do with the money they make. You know, I love wealth. I love black wealth. It's fine. The coddling of, I don't know what we should do, and I don't, and yeah, and that, and this and that, and yeah. I wish he would just go away. I really wish he'd go away. And maybe that would shake him into reality.
Our criticism has nothing to do with his wealth. I understand what you're saying, but I think the money that they're paying him, that has a lot of the reason why they are coddling him. And his skill set. Kyrie is one of the best players in the NBA. Top 10, definitely. Top 15 for sure. In the NBA, he's a valuable asset to that basketball team. I guarantee you, though, if he were a role player on this basketball team, they would have gotten rid of him. That's the bottom line. We do know that certain players are treated differently depending on what they mean to their team and their status on that team. If Kyrie Irving was somebody that was a backup point guard who was barely getting any burn and he refused to get that vaccine, they'd be like, okay, well.
Guys, ain't it funny how all that pro-black stuff go out the window when it comes to certain things? Okay, you remember Stephen A. Smith, the same dude who has been on TV essentially demonizing white coaches that get hired over black candidates, right? Regardless of whether or not the black candidate is more qualified, Stephen A. Smith has been dying on this hill of we need black coaches in the NBA. We need more black coaches simply because we need more black coaches, right? Mr. Pro-Black. Okay, Stephen A. Smith. Now all of a sudden, a black player is making a decision that he disagrees with. Well, we got to get rid of him, right? Nets, they should just cut him. Get rid of Kyrie. Just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. Ain't it crazy how that worked? I thought you was all about black employment, Stephen A. Smith, right? Having more blackness in the NBA. But apparently, that don't matter anymore. Okay, don't matter anymore. And Stephen A. Smith is sitting here talking about money, right? That other lady in that other clip also talked about money and wealth too. Stephen A. said that, hey, you know what? I'm going to look out for my money, right? In which, I don't blame Stephen A. for that. I don't blame anybody that looks out for their family and their money, right? I don't blame you for that. But at the same time, Kyrie has plenty of money already. Now, I don't know what his bank account looks like, but I'm assuming that Kyrie should, if he's been financially responsible, he should be sitting on about at least 40, 50, 60 million dollars, right? At the very, very least, okay? Which, with that amount of money, okay, if you just put it in the market and collect a dividend, you're going to be living great for the rest of your life, okay? You're going to be good forever, right? So, for Kyrie, it's not necessarily about the money, it seems, right? For you, Stephen A., when you make however much you make, I think he makes what, $8, $9, $10 million a year. It could be more. We're talking about a different level of wealth here, right? So for the money for you might matter, okay? And again, these are the same people that talk about, well, I love black wealth. Like that lady said, I love black wealth. I love black people make money. Well, The NBA is taking money out of Kyrie's pocket, right? But for whatever reason, you're mad at Kyrie because he's making a personal choice with his health. It's kind of crazy how that works. It's kind of crazy how these same people who led all last year with race, we should listen to you simply because you're black. Now all of a sudden, they don't want to listen to black folks anymore, right? They don't want to listen to black folks. Again, I just find it hilarious how the tables have turned on this stuff. And this is what I want people to watch. If you happen to be black and you're watching this is the difference between how conservatives think and how liberals think. Conservatives, look, we don't care about your race. If we agree with you, we agree with you. Be damned your race, right? Damn your race. It doesn't matter. Liberals, on the other hand, they'll tell you it's about your race. You know, we love you because you're black, okay? But as soon as you say something they disagree with, that blackness don't matter no more, right? Again, I would rather stand with somebody on an ideological basis rather than on a racial basis, right? That's what I'm saying. That's my point. Now, Kyrie had spoken out about this after Stephen A. Smith and the pro-black media mafia basically calling for the man's job, in which he gives his side of the story and how he feels about this. Take a look.
You know, I had to stop running away from using my voice and using my platform to, speak on what's true and what's mine. You know, nobody's going to hijack my voice. Nobody's going to take the power away from me that I have for speaking on these things, you know, and don't believe that I'm retiring. Don't believe that, I'm going to give up this game for a vaccine mandate or staying unvaccinated. Don't believe any of that shit, man. Like really be aware of what's being said before I even get a chance to be on the podium and speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like all these people saying all these things about what's going on with me, and it's just not true. Pay attention to what's going on out in the real world. You know, people are losing their jobs to these mandates. People are having to make choices with their own lives, which I respect. You know, and I don't want to sit here and play on people's emotions either. Just use logic. You know, what would you do? You know, if you felt uncomfortable going into the season when you were promised that you would have exemptions or that you didn't have to be forced to get the vaccine. You know, this wasn't an issue before the season started. This wasn't something that I foresaw coming, where I prepared for it. And, I had a chance to strategize on what was going to be best for me and my family. I came into the season thinking that I was just going to be able to play ball, be able to use my talent to continue to, inspire, influence people in the right way. Like putting this on me is just like, why are you putting it on me? This is not part of, what's going on in conversations with scientists, physicians, and doctors. I'm just a hooper, right? Like I'm just a person who's being utilized as an example. For some odd reason, people love to have my name in the mix of just some BS. Like just hearing the way people speak with so much conviction about what I should be doing with my life and what, my teammates should be feeling about me, what the organization be feeling about me. And
yeah, so Kyrie is essentially addressing critics like Stephen A. Smith and those other people, Black News Network, I guess that's what it's called. But he's addressing them because there's rumors out there that KD, who is Kyrie Irving's teammate, Kevin Durant, is not happy with Kyrie and his decision. Okay, so they're putting out rumors that the Nets and their team, they feel some type of way about Kyrie and his personal health choices, right? That's what they're doing. They're trying to sow division, right? To pressure him to do what they want him to do, right? And Kyrie is speaking up and saying, listen, you guys don't speak for me. I haven't even had a chance to say my piece, right? You have all these people out here that are getting fired over these things, right? I was bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray. I was told that I wouldn't have to do this, right? That we wouldn't have this forced on us. Now, he's in a special situation because it's not necessarily the NBA doing this. It's the city of New York, right? It's Bill de Blasio. That's the man he really should have an issue with, okay? Because he's not allowed to play at home games because of the mandate in regards to having to be vaccinated to go indoors, right? So, this is something that he did not expect and he didn't have time to prepare for. So it sounds to me like the dude is like, I need more time. I'm not saying I'm going to sit out the whole season. I'm not saying I'm going to retire. I'm not saying any of that. It sounds to me like he's just saying, I need more time, right? I need to take the time to make the best decision for me and my family, okay? But for whatever reason, this position is just so unacceptable for some people, right? And that's what really bothers me, right? The wait and see approach has now become an anti-vax approach, according to some people, when it's simply just, hey, I just want to wait and see, okay? I don't want to be pressured into making certain decisions. But for that reason, that's bad. That means that people like Stephen A. Smith and other folks have to come out and call for the Nets to basically cut the man, cut off the man's income, right? It's kind of crazy how that works. But these are the same people that tell you, we love black folks, right? We pro-black. That's what they'll say, unless you're not going along with, the liberal media and their narrative. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.